So it's a beautiful day today, so I figured I'd take a moment to talk about some things that are interesting going on in the world. Um, but first of all, I'm not really big on talking to cameras, so that's why I always do a beautiful view, because I always figure it's always nicer to look at a beautiful view than somebody just chatting at their phone, I guess. I don't know. For multiple reasons, but mainly I kind of wanted to talk about um, some interesting things that I've noticed about songs recently and all of that stuff about, well, for one, all of the, what do you want to say, pedophilia going on in Hollywood and all the weird stuff that's going on in Hollywood. But for one, I just want to point out that if anybody doubted Beyonce's evilness, then that maybe they should go rewatch the video Flawless on YouTube, because she pretty much tells you who she is in that video. It's definitely a okay video. And another little interesting tidbit in an Usher song, Little Freak, with Nicki Minaj in it. Nicki Minaj talks openly about having to keep Cassie away from Diddy in the song. So obviously it was an open, known thing during the time that they were making that video. So that's another interesting telling thing about things. And I also wanted to go on about how, since it's election year, just like to remind everybody that elections really can't be stolen, because they're already rigged before they're even given to us. Don't forget that when our democracy was created, we were colonies, and not everybody could leave the colony to go vote. So that's why we created representatives, and every state has representatives, a certain amount depending on the population, right? So your representative votes for you, and there's only a certain number of votes for a representative, so it's not possible to steal an election. And the whole Trump campaign, like facilitating that thought and that idea and just pushing that, just goes to show you that the whole thing is just a big show. Because, I mean, come on. You can't tell me people in the political community doesn't know how our system works. Okay. I mean, the electoral vote is the vote that counts, not the popular vote. I've known that since high school. That's why I never voted since high school, because I've always known it. What difference does it make what I vote? If you care about who is president, then you'll figure out who your representative is and what they stand for. I would guarantee probably most people don't even know who the representatives are. I don't, because I don't really care to find out, because I have no faith in the political realm whatsoever. I think it's all just a big hoax, in my opinion. And especially after going through Telegram a couple of years ago and seeing all of those posts about Trump and the hero worship and all that stuff, it almost made me want to vomit. It was so, like, are you joking me? Like, a hero? Like, okay. It was just gross. It was, like, literally like worship. Like, oh my gosh, okay. And just Hollywood in general. It's coming down. It's definitely coming down. I mean, yeah, it may take some small spurts, but I mean, it's like, seems like every day there's just like new interesting stories and coming out. But there's also this other song. Actually, honestly, if you listen to like a lot of newer songs, or songs from the past 20 years, I guess I should say, not newer, but there's a lot of indications and hints of a lot of things if you just listen to the words in the songs. There's a lot of creepy stuff that we overlooked because we didn't really think about it. But there's this one song by an artist called Tuvlo, which I don't really know her that well, but it's called Talkin' Body. And that song, there's definitely a part towards the end where it's definitely interesting wordplay, and also kind of creepy how in those scenes she looks eerily similar to Drew Barrymore. It's kind of weird. Anyway. And then ever since the eclipse, and I've definitely been seeing a lot of interesting videos, and I was also reminded of the John Levi video that he did, I think it was last year, on the solar eclipse, and an interesting video he saw, which correlates to another video that I ended up seeing on TikTok, with somebody with a welding mask who was looking at the solar eclipse, which was also interesting. There's definitely a lot of interesting things going on with our sky. I mean, the moon has been shining like a Cheshire grin, which is definitely odd, something I've never ever seen before this past year. Like, what? Since when does it phase like that? Okay, that's different. Just a lot of things. I mean, in my opinion, the solar eclipse, we're eclipsed by Rahu, the black sun, the invincible one. That's what causes our eclipse. And it's even shown on the Prague clock, too. They show the celestial body that creates the eclipse. Which in, what do they call it, Western astrology would be considered, I don't know, the north or south node. There's K2 and Rahu, north and south nodes. But, yeah. But on that note, I hope you all enjoy your lovely Sunday, the day of the sun.